And good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Actionable Financial Literacy Center. And I'm Dr. Joe Blake, here, your host. We are a part of the Blake Media LLC. And hey, we're going to have a great day today, great time. I'm a little sniffly today. Allergies are just kicking my tail. Man, it's a lot of wind blowing and the pollen is all over the place. And I got the sneezies. So I might have to mute a little bit and got my tissue over here. Man, I kind of allergies just getting to me. Oh, uh, anyway. Okay, so today's lesson, before I get to the lesson, I want to remind everyone on May 18th, we're going to have the Mastermind May. Great opportunity to learn more about how and where to put your funds for future use. Going to be a great time learning information. It's going to be at the Glendale Library. I'm going to make sure you sign up. You can go to the website, have that listed there, where you can sign up for the Mastermind May. Remember, the Mastermind May is the first part of the training. Then in September, we're going to have the follow up with what you learned in May. We're going to evaluate in September. And those two events are going to give you a grasp of understanding about picking a company, see what a company looks like, and understanding who you are as you're looking at putting your money away for future use. And then in September, you'll be able to evaluate it. So you get a feel of who you are and how you are when it comes to picking and choosing the company you want to look at. So sign up for that. You go to my website and you'll see the link there to choose that, and that helps. The podcast here is I opened it back up because I wanted to make sure everyone gets to hear what I have to say because I'm the type of guy I want to make sure everybody hears it. If you want to help me out, you can always subscribe to the channel. Uh, and if you want to help, just plug in and get the information. It helps me stay online and on float and everything. $25 a month is all I ask. If you want to plug in and help out. Uh, hey, if not, it's on you. But I know I provide detail. It's going good information. Is going to help you out. All right. Okay. So let's get on with it. Today's lesson is the how philosophy. The how philosophy. And I always God puts in my spirit this information, and I go back and research it to bring it across. So, what is? Let me take my hat off here. It's the military side of me. I start out, got to come in and take my hat off. Sometimes I want to keep it on if my head's cold. I might put it back on now, kind of nasally. Anyway, the how philosophy. What is that all about? How? How do we as advisors, how are we as the leaders? How do we get our clients or people to continue to do more, get more of what they do, more into helping others and helping themselves win. So, what is the how philosophy? Let's take a look at it. Now, part of a how philosophy, when I started being an advisor, to sit down with clients, I looked at uh, Luke chapter 16, verse 12, specifically verse 12, because verse 12 somewhat says it all for me. And I kind of, now, without looking at, you always, when you read the Bible, you want to look at the first, you look at the scripture you want to look at, but you look at the chapter, the scripture before and the scripture be after it. But I just looked at the first scripture first. It says, and 12 it says, and if you have not been faithful in that which is another man's, who shall give you that which is your own? So if you're, and this is in, this can be for in business and also you're helping with a client. So and my thought was, if I can't help a client which was in their wealth, how can God trust me with my wealth of my own? So I got to help that client win in their wealth in order for God to give me my wealth as well. So when I sat down with a client, it didn't matter how much they had. I had to help them get to their wealthy place in order for me to get to my wealthy place. So helping others win is the how principle. You got to help others win in order for you to win. In anything you do, you help others win, help you win too. It creates a win-win environment. When they win, you win, we all win. And there's those different aspects to the win-win opportunity that makes it all worthwhile for everyone. So when I looked at that as being from a financial advisor standpoint, I wanted to help be faithful in helping that client win financially, because when they win, that's when I win. So it make no sense if I got there and I didn't help them get to their financial place. Because if I didn't help them get to their financial place, it wouldn't help me at all. It didn't do me no good if I didn't help them. So I had to help them first, to help me. So that's the mentality I had then, I have now. Every time I sit down with a client, right on dot. That's what I needed to do. So these are some of the areas you have to look at when you're helping others win. You got to look at empathy. You got to look at celebrating milestones, constructive feedback, sharing resources, mentorship importance, because it's almost like a mentorship. And then there's also collaborative sports. So you got to boost others' success. And when you boost others' success, that's what comes in. Supporting others' achievements, cultivating shared victories. That's what all the helping others win is all about. So one step at a time. Empathy in action. What is empathy in action? That's where you're putting yourself in your client's shoes. So you sitting down with the client, you say, okay, what do I need to help them? And you're the client now. You're talking to yourself, so to speak, as a client. You say, how would you feel if when you and you are in your client's seat? You're sitting there with your client. You're your client too. So you're sitting there. How would you feel? You're talking to your client, and you got this guy sitting there talking. You know, you're the client saying, "What does this guy want?" And you're the client. Say, okay, what does the client want from me? What I want from my client? So you think about it. Would you trust yourself to believe? Would you trust or believe yourself? If you're the client and you're talking to you. Would you believe you? Would you believe that in this guy's heart, um, he's out for him, out for me? So when I started, I had to think about that. That's why I went to the scripture, and I was like, okay, um, if I'm there faithfully to help them, I'm there for that their main purpose. I want to help them win because if they don't win, I can't win. If I can't get them successful, it ain't gonna do nothing for me. So each client, I had to think that way. Each client I went to see, I had to think that way. I got to get them wealthy because it's not just one client I'm going to see. I'm going to see thousands of them, and each individual one, I think that way because collectively, that's how I win. Not just one client, all of them. I had to think that way. Every time I sat down with them, I had to feel their pain. I had to feel their heart. I had to feel their desire, and feeling what they wanted to feel, the way they wanted to feel, so I could help them. And each time I helped them, it helped me. And the first person I helped was my mama. My mama was my client, so I had to go that route. All right, next, celebrate milestones. You got to celebrate good times. These are the good times. That was a song way back in the day. I'm telling my age, but celebrate good times. Celebrate. You know, I had to celebrate. In the beginning it wasn't much, but in the end, celebrate good times when I sat down with a client and I set up a college fund for the children. And when the children are small, you see them running around in the background and everything. Like I said, I've been doing this for 30 years. So some of the kids were small. Then the next thing you know, like it's like night and day. Boom. Next thing you know, yeah, she's getting married. What? Married? When that like that? Child's getting married. Child's going to college. And we started sending the college down. We get the money out the account. Like wow, it is so rewarding after you sit down with the family. You set the college fund up. And the child starts to go to college, and you send the money out. Celebration time. Celebration time. Wow, we we actually did that. Set those funds aside and send the money for that child to go to college. And then you at the same time you sitting there with the client. You set the college fund aside. You get the retirement funds in, and you watch the retirement funds grow as well. They're still working this, and we've still got this going on, Joe. To send the child to college, we're still down. We're putting money away for retirement. So you recognize that it's a team effort fostering that environment for their family. You're setting these goals up, you set these dreams aside, send a college. They're still rolling with the retirement assets, so you still have those dreams going forward. It is such a rewarding experience, and like I said, 30 years, man, to see that, and I'm still going for it. I still like. I mean, I get helping people is just like a thing for me. It's just being a firefighter. That was it too. Firefighters. You need a firefighter. Everybody's like, "We send your house on fire." It's like, "Hey, come on over. Come on over. Come on over." And you can bring your buddies over too with you as well. So that's helping this also. Celebrate those milestones. All right, next one. Constructive feedback. Now, when you hear constructive feedback, some people think, what it should be. Constructing, I look at a construction worker. A construction worker builds a facility, but a demolition worker destroys it. So when you look at constructive feedback in the process, constructive feedback is used to instill confidence and build confidence. All right. So you want to instill that confidence and build that confidence. Make sure you're building. When you're giving constructive feedback, make sure you're building. You don't need to be a demolition worker. You don't need to destroy anything. Constructive feedback builds confidence in that person, builds character in that individual, builds character in their family. Hey, we're gonna make this work. We're gonna set this plan in place, set that plan in place, and if there's any hiccups in between, we need to make some changes, make some adjustments. What would make it? When we need to make adjustments or constructive things? Life changes. Sometimes along the way, life changes in a family. Sometimes families go separate ways. Sometimes a family member may end but may end up going to be with the Lord, and so you got to make changes in that way as well. But make constructive feedback and make sure you're building along the way to offset or correct things as they occur. Things happen in life, changes occur, and you have to be able to adjust in plans as things happen. So as a planner, you have to understand that. And as advisor, you have to be able to recommend and advise as you go along. And know that uh, as things may happen to the right, things may happen to the left, but you stay on course with that plan for that family. And no matter which direction, how it needs to go. Plan for those things. Construction workers. Make things move. All right. So sharing resources. What about sharing resources makes it valuable? So you gotta put the time and knowledge and tools to empower others. So it should be a give and get exchange. So you're there with the client and you're talking. They have to give you the information and they get an exchange for that. You give the information, you're able to give them get an exchange from them. They give you the information, you can give them a plan. They give you what they want to get. They can give them the information they need. Give them the products. I mean, they give you the information. You can give them the service that's sufficient for them. Because if they give you a lot of garbage up front, you can't give them the right thing back. They give you half information, then you get half back. So you as the advisor have to recommend, have to share with them. Hey, I can only give you back what you give me. So you got to give me what you expect. Give me what you need, so I can give you what you expect. So it should result in a win-win triumph. So you have to be open with them. Hey, I'm here to make sure I give you your best. I'm here to make sure it works out for you first. Has to work out for the client first. Because if they're not happy and they're not satisfied, they don't get what they want, then you can't win. The advisor can't win. So when you communicate that with the client, it works out. It can work out. There are times when it doesn't work out, and when it doesn't work out, what do? Then the client decides to choose to move on. Uh, you know, they move on. And the ones that stay with you, the client that stays with it, God allows that client to stay with you. The client decides to move on, and that's the one that God says, okay, that client chooses. It's their choice. But you should result. It should result when you're sharing resources, sharing information, should result in a win-win triumph. All sides need to be happy. All sides need to be happy. And then when you're sharing the resources, that's what happens. All sides need to be happy. They do. You feel it, they feel it, and it's internal. Your heart feels it, your soul feels it, your mind feels it. It's a win-win. All right, mentorship importance. What is it about mentorship? It's guidance from experienced individuals, and it paves and mentorship kind of paves the way for others things. So when the student's ready, the teacher will appear. That's by that Leo Tao guy. That's a good look. That's a good one there. So when the clients are ready, then that's when the advisor appears. When clients are ready to move forward, that's when they'll set a meeting with you and you come over. So when you come over, they are ready. So you as the advisor, then you come in to educate, and then you let them choose. You're not there to sell them. This is the greatest product since sliced bread. We come over here, and this is no. You're not there to sell. You're there to tell a story, tell them how this is going to work, show them where it's going to make it better for themselves, and then you let them choose. The client knows what they need. They know how they know what they want. You share a story. Find their need and see what you have fits their need. The client will choose. You're just there to educate, provide them information, knowledge, and wisdom. You let them choose. You don't choose for them. And when you do it that way, that's when they're ready. They'll choose. They'll set the meeting time with you. You can call them, say, hey, this is Dr. Blake. Just following up with you again, seeing if you're ready to sit down so we can discuss about planning for your future, planning for your college education for your child, or anything financially you have questions about. I'm ready to sit down with you and move forward. Move forward. So would Monday at 3 or Wednesday at 2 work best for you? No, neither day works. How about we do Thursday at 6? Okay, Thursday at 6. Let me see. 6:30? Okay, that's fine. We'll sit together. And you sit down. This is how it works. This is what I do. This is and you go from there. And then which would you like? When would you like to start? And then go from that point. So you provide options for for your client, and then they'll let you know when it's time to move forward. We'll get started now. We'll get started next week. We'll get so and they choose. So you provide that open opportunity for that client to start, and then there's that collaborative spirit. For goodness sake, it's good to collaborate. For goodness sake, it's good to collaborate. Now, of course, I'm from the inner city, so when I think of songs and rhyming and rapping, because that's where I came from. And that's that always sits in my spirit. So, for goodness sake, it's good to collaborate. So, it's not good for a man and woman to be alone. So you have to collaborate with one another and be in the teamwork when you do things. So you want to collaborate and teamwork with your clients because teamwork makes the dream work. And that's how success is happening. You promote that teamwork uh, with a husband and spouse, or if you're working with a single guy or a single lady. And this happened. I work with single folks. Next thing you know, they have partners. And you meet with the partners, and then the partner comes on board, and then they get together, and it all works out because you're bringing that spirit of understanding that they have a partner. There, you need to talk to my partner so they understand as well, and it works out for that individual in their lives. They understand what you're trying to share with them. You understand what you're bringing to them, and it makes sense. It makes sense for them, and when you're doing it because you want to help them achieve success because them achieving success helps you become successful as well as also. So it's a wonderful thing. All right. Before I talk about the Joseph factor, I want to. This is totally off the subject, but it's on my mind. Totally off the subject. One of the things that from because I'm from the inner city, uh, totally off subject. Man, they gonna have break dancing in the Olympics. Man, I can't remember when I was a kid, break dancing first came out. I could not get on the ground, sliding around in my clothes, get them dirty. So I never did it. But my goodness, man, these are gonna be in Olympics this year for the first time. I cannot believe it. Times changed and everything's changed. So sometimes you gotta go with the flow, so everyone knows how good things can be. And sometimes you got to be willing to change. Now, I have this Joseph factor in here because last week I talked about it, how Joseph dealt with some difficult things in his life, and he just changed as he went along. Um, so, oh man, let's talk about the right minute. So, things this was the scripture I talked about earlier. Then I talked about the scripture before, the scripture after. If you've not been faithful in the unrighteous mammon, which is crooked money, so to speak, if you have not been faithful in that which is another man's, you shall not be faithful which is your own. So, like you at work, you're on someone else's job. You're at someone's job. If you're not good at being good on your job or being good to the boss man, how can God give you your own? How can you have your own business? If you've been unfaithful to people at work, how can God give you your own business? So that's how you got to think about that. So if you're not helping someone else get themselves to that wealthy place, how can you get your own wealth if you're not unfaithful to the other person's wealth? Joseph had many things that it was against him when he was in Egypt. Uh, his brother sold him into slavery. They threw him in a pit. Potiphar's wife uh, told a fa- uh, told a story to him, told a lie to him, and he put in prison. But even though all those things was against Joseph, he came out of it on flying colors. He still came out. He was still made like the prime minister of Egypt. He was put over all of Pharaoh's finances and kingdom because he rose above all those things that it was against him to be the top person in Egypt. You know, in Romans at 8:28, it talks about that. It said, all things works out for the good of those who love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. All things. So as long as you remain faithful to what your creator has called you to do, it works out for you. So if you go out and helping others win, when you help others win, then you win. You got to be out to help other people win, not to take advantage of them, not to take from them. You want to help your clients, your teammates, your family, help them win, then it helps you win. So uh, that's the how factor. That's the how philosophy. And that's something that would drop in my spirit. I wanted to make sure I share with everyone else. Some of the resources that I used, and that was the how philosophy. So if you have any questions, you could drop those in the send those questions in the chat. I got a couple of minutes here. Um, Drop those in the chat if you want. Also, you can go to you can use this QR code. You can get my first book there, which is Financial Literacy. The second one is called Financial Legacy. You can also go to the website again and get that book. That's the second book. Financial Legacy is the second book of my 3-book series. You got Financial Literacy, then it's Financial Legacy. Then the third one that's going to come out a little sooner, maybe a year or two. I'll come out with the financial. Well, I don't want to say the third one. The third one to come out in a couple of years. Um, but it's a 3-book series that I'm going to share, and it's all about making sure we have that financial house in order. And so again, about the um, remind you of the Mastermind May on May 18th. You can also register for the Mastermind May on the website. That's this is financial actual financialliteracy.com. You can register for that as well. So I'm doing those things that God has called me to do to make sure I share with other people so they can gain information and knowledge about finances. I've been doing it over 30 years. Uh, Sometimes I mention about the fire department because I was in the Air Force for 13 years and firefighting was one of my strong points. I still think about it all the time, but sometimes I use firefighting analogies, and it's just a part of who I am. Just part of who I am. That's it. So with that, just want to remind everyone to like and subscribe to the channel to get my logarithms up and get more people to share the information. And just want to say I look forward to seeing you guys again next week. Have a great, wonderful, and prosperous day. And I'm hoping that I get you to get your financial point across. Have a great day.